Welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to podcast for everything Northern Denver.
From everything Denver to Fort Collins, we're your local real estate experts shining a light on the incredible quality of life in the area.
We're going to cover local businesses, attractions, events, and interviews with experts, all while educating and empowering you to understand why the Northern Denver area is the best place to be.
Amen, sister.
You bet.
Hi there, my name is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty, and with me today is my co-host.
I'm Wilson Miller with the Direct Lending Team powered by Citywide Home Mortgage.
And we are so lucky today we have Tom, the tango teacher, on with us, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about where he's located, how we can get involved, and all the information you need to know about the Argentinian, right? Argentinian tango.
And Tom, I gotta apologize up front to all the listeners. I kind of tagged that nickname too quickly. I wasn't even sure if that was okay with Tom. So
Yes, it's okay.
okay.
It helps people remember who I am, and
It does.
it's
It's good branding.
it's good branding. And my website is tango.org. So
Oh,
it I actually invented the internet. No, I was there at the beginning with everybody as the internet was being invented, and that's how I got a domain name. So easy to remember as tango.org.
that is a really
That's
easy,
pretty
that's
cool.
a super
That's
easy
pretty
one to
cool.
remember. So you were
So
telling us a little bit about the differences in tangos.
yeah, so tango is a dance that came from Argentina, and it's famously sultry and sexual and dramatic, and it has evolved over the many years. But it started around the 1900s in Argentina, and it shortly thereafter made its way to Paris, and that is the tango that became the ballroom tango. So when you go to do ballroom tango, you typically might do a version of the Argentine tango from the 1900s. Meanwhile, in Argentina, tango continued to evolve until by the 1930s, it had changed rather dramatically. The tango that you see the Addams Family do, the tangos that you see Rudy Valentino do with the Rose in the Teeth, that is the old style tango from ballroom. But in Argentina, from 30s to 1955, everybody did tango. That's how you met a woman. That's how you got a date. That's how you got married. And it was what everybody did. In 1955, the Juan Perón came to power. Juan Perón was taken out of power by the military. And it's not that the military didn't like tango, but they didn't like the nightlife and they had curfews. So the nightlife in Buenos Aires was shut down. And with that, the tango was basically shut down. Tastes evolved and rock and roll was popular. The Argentine tango dancers went home, had families for about 30 more years until about 1985. Tango revived. It revived based on some touring groups in Europe and Japan. And then it became popular again in Buenos Aires. And about that time, the old gentleman came back to tango. One interesting thing about tango is that it was taught man to man from the very first ages. This generation today, 1985 on, is the first time people learn tango in co-ed circumstances. So
Oh,
it is interesting. So the Argentine gentleman or Argentine boy would go to the neighborhood club, hang out with the old guys, and they'd say, "Here's how you dance tango, kid," and they would make him follow for the first 3 to 6 months. And by following, he felt what it was like to receive the lead, and he felt what it was like to experience the follow. So when he was permitted finally to turn around and lead somebody, he knew what he was supposed to be leading them.
okay.
The women learned perhaps in the parlor of their home with a slightly disreputable uncle who came in and walked them around the room and said, "Okay, you're ready to go to a dance." In those days, you would go to a dance with a chaperone,
Chaperone, so
a
yeah.
chaperone, of course, and that would be the
Yeah.
old ladies, and she would the old ladies, the mothers, would observe the man on the dance floor and then accept the dance for the young lady.
Oh, okay.
So the
Right.
women were never touched by any man who was less than skilled.
Ooh.
Very cool.
But it's sort of, oh, of course, this is a Latin country and it has traditional Latin values. And one might talk about the masculine male and the feminine female. But you could also put the positive aspects of that as the gentleman and the follower. The woman was not a passive follower. She was very
Participant.
participatory,
Mhm.
perhaps maybe more of a diva than a perfectly following rag doll.
So until I fine tune my skills, I'm never gonna be touched by a woman again. That seems like I'm learning. I'm learning a lot. I'm
Thank
learning a lot.
God for women
I, I have to
everywhere.
learn the tango
Yeah.
first of all. No, no,
Well,
Women
I've had it
around the
wrong the whole
globe are
time, Tom.
cheering right now,
yeah.
Wilson.
Well, it was a relatively competitive environment, so you had to become pretty skilled if you were going to earn the dances of the follower. But here's one other aspect of that is that you would not walk across the room and put your hand in the woman's face, because that would put her in the social dilemma of having to refuse you in front of everybody or pretend that she was tired or whatever, and you'd have to pretend you're going to the bathroom. And so instead, they have this tradition called the cabeceo, which means to give a head nod. So across a crowded room, you see the object of your desire and you gaze at her intently. If she looks your way and she gives you a nod, then you know you've got a dance, a contract sealed and delivered. You can walk across the
Oh,
room. As you get close, you could put your hand out and then she will rise to meet you.
To be
It
honest, it's
is,
really primal because this is what tribes have done for years. Peacocks, the animals do it, and it's pretty
yeah,
cool. They're posturing out there and they're judging your skills and the strength of
yeah.
the opposite over there.
And it maybe seems a little nerve wracking, but we do this in our normal life. If you go to a fine restaurant and you want the waiter to bring you a bottle of wine, you don't go walk over to the waiter and put your hand in his face. You
yeah,
just give
that's
him that
true.
nod across the room. So it's a
Mhm.
little
Yeah,
less foreign than you think. It's
yeah.
just that maybe get a contract for a dance, maybe that's a little more nerve wracking for a shy guy or a shy woman.
So if Wilson is ever going to touch a woman again,
Yeah.
or dance with her, Tom, where do you teach at? Where can he find you?
So right now I'm teaching in Denver on Wednesdays, and I will be teaching in Loveland on
Okay.
Thursdays.
Ooh,
And
wonderful.
so the main activities that we have in Colorado are in at the Denver Turnverein, which is right next to the Fillmore Auditorium on Colfax and Clarkson. And the tango group there, came in 1995 looking for a place to practice. And the German club said, well, you will have to join. And we said, we would love to join. And they were a little nervous that we were going to take over the place. And then they saw how much energy all these young people had, and they said, please take over the place. So the tango dancers and the ballroom dancers and the swing dancers and the West Coast swing dancers are now participant clubs in the Turnverein, and we basically own the building.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That's cool. What got you into all of this? Like, where are you
I
from? Where did
was,
you
well,
find tango in general?
yeah. Well, I grew up in Fort Collins, and when I was in college, you could country western swing 5 days a week in half a dozen or 10 um, bars around the area. And so dancing was still relatively popular in those days. And what I would call it country swing, western swing, country two-step. And you can still do that in a lot of places in the area. Uh, Denver, Fort Collins, all the area. And yeah, I was doing a little bit of ballroom in the 90s, and this guy came to town teaching tango, and he put classes in for 10 weeks in Fort Collins, Denver, and Boulder. And after the first week, we were taking classes from all three of those locations. So we had 15 people who went to Buenos Aires in 1996.
Oh, wow, how cool.
Oh,
Yeah, we thought we knew something about tango, and we very quickly learned we knew nothing about tango, but we came back determined to develop our skills and get better. So ever since then, I have taught tango, and I've put on tango festivals in Denver, and so I did one in San Diego too. So I did 35 tango festivals with 200 to 400 attendees.
Oh
At,
my.
yeah, so and in Denver, and sometimes at a hotel. The festivals I'm doing now are in the Denver Turnpike. I rent the building for the weekend. So every Tuesday at the Turnpike in Denver, there are 100 people doing tango.
That's
So
cool. That's really neat.
And
so
they're of
those
all
100
skills, all
okay, I was gonna
ages.
ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 20 somethings, we have 30 somethings, we skip the family generation, and then we have 50s and 60s and 70s. And yes, to your point, it takes a little bit of practice to get tango. If you want a simpler dance, salsa.
Well, and I don't want that vanilla tango. You went down there and realized your tango might have been not have been the real deal.
Well, I mean, I knew the steps, and that's the thing with learning dance is you can learn a few steps and have fun. But if you
Yeah.
really want to get good, you have to perfect it. It's like doing karate or judo. At some point, you become black belt, and that's when you are permitted to take beginner lessons, meaning go back to the fundamentals and learn to do it really well. And so the thing in Argentina is that it's a different culture. It's an interesting foreign culture. It's a Latin culture. People are
Yeah.
very huggy. People are very passionate, and people love the music and they know the music. So my first steps onto the Argentine dance floor, I gave them a nice posture, a nice frame, and she took two steps, and then suddenly she threw herself around me and gave me this huge hug. And now I was expected to dance her. And that is the very close embrace that they do in Argentina.
I mean, I'm never going
Cool.
to be single again, Anne, after
You,
this.
you,
Well,
well, if
let's
you're
see you
married, if you're
dance,
married, you will
Wilson.
absolutely be single again. No,
I'll be
Well,
multitasking, quite frankly.
yeah.
Once I get a black belt in tango, it's all over,
But
ladies.
but so the thing with the cabaseo that I mentioned, the way to ask for a dance is a way to enter into a contract for 5 minutes, 6, 8 minutes with somebody, and then you thank them and you take them back to their seat, and then they are able to look around for somebody else. So it's not a contract for a date, it's not a contract for marriage, it's a contract for a dance at this moment. And then she goes home with her boyfriend on the motorcycle. But that's okay because
I'll be brokenhearted all night too.
well, you can try somebody else.
I'm gonna make her sit and look at the wall when we're done dancing. You don't get to pick another one. That's
only
pretty
if she gives
awesome,
you a
though. It's
second
interesting.
nod, Wilson. She'll have to nod at
I
you
need,
again.
yeah, I want
You
another
have to
nod.
nod. Yeah. Yeah. And then we also say that the cabaseo, the nod, works best between friends. You walk into the
Hmm.
building, you look around, you see 5 of your friends, you say, hey, check me out. You're filling up your dance card even before you have started to dance. And then she knows that you really love to dance the waltzes. So the waltzes come on and she looks right at you and you go, boom. It's like popcorn. All the women are up. And I said, and maybe I didn't get the nod quite quickly enough, and all the women are gone already.
So, if I were a beginner just to show up on a Tuesday night, what would that look like?
So we have Tango Colorado is the organization that runs the Tango Club there. I'm a member of that, and they sponsor classes at 6:30 every Tuesday, beginner, continuing beginner, and then a more advanced class. And they rotate through the various teachers in the community, the ones who have been teaching for a while. And the ideal is that these teachers also have their own classes, so you can go discover tango and then go take more extensive work with any of them.
Got it. Got it.
And then it's from 6:30 to 7:30 would be a class. And then from 7:30 on, there is a dance. And we do the formal dance with a DJ with seating around the outside of the dance floor. The dance floor is to be honored. You don't go walking around on the dance floor. You walk around behind the tables. Sitting in the tables are hopeful tango dancers, and they give that glance, they give that nod, and then they come out onto the dance floor. And it's typically danced in lanes. So the
Okay.
outer lane and if the outer lane gets filled up, then the next inner lane would have people dancing around. And with 100 people on the dance floor, it gets pretty crowded out there. We follow the rules of the road, similar to I-25. And if we've all experienced the accordion slow down on I-25, the same thing on the tango dance floor.
Really?
So is there a certain, so when I think tango, I think like stilettos and skirts and like fun outfits. Sorry, I think of outfits.
Yes,
What should
yes.
one wear on a Tuesday? Like do you, is it okay if I like came in jeans and tennis shoes, or what does that look like if I were to come?
So Colorado, of course, is a relatively casual place to be. And people come in, not workout, the nice sweats, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
tights and or tennis shoes are absolutely fine. When you're a beginner, just come as you are and have fun. The skilled ladies often wear high heels and they often wear attractive dresses, but it's not Dancing with the Stars. So it's not the
Oh
slid up to
man.
here. It's not the slid up to here, and it's not cut down to here. It's a little maybe more elegant, sexy, as
Right.
opposed to sexy, sexy.
Well, and you don't
Well,
need heels
so
on when you're trying to learn, you know?
No, we would recommend just come as you are.
So I'll
Walk
keep my heels at
normal
home.
to begin with. Just walk normal.
Yeah.
that way, if
So you would,
someone looks
yeah,
at you and gives you the nod, they'll know, like based on what you're wearing, if you're a newbie or if you're like super like,
Yes.
could be like if you're wearing shoes like that, you better be able to dance like that. Uh,
mm-hmm,
People get to know everybody in the crowd. I've been doing this for so long that if I see somebody who's a pretty good dancer and I've never seen them before, I know they're not from around here.
right.
So even with 100 people, you get to know who they are, and you
That's
can
pretty
So
also
cool.
tell. You can tell the beginners, and it's okay to be a beginner because you're just learning.
how many love matches have you guys had? How many weddings have you had for
Uh,
tango over the years?
I probably should what is it? In the interest of protection of the innocent, I should not admit, but I have had several of my students meet somebody and decide they're going to be together.
That's pretty
No
cool.
Yeah,
kidding.
I mean, it's
What
a
a cool
different way.
community.
Well, and it's a different way of meeting people. I mean, it's very
Hmm.
social without having like the alcohol and different things like that. And also a new experience. Like you can really see someone's personality when they're trying something new. You know, those hotheads who
Hmm.
get out there, they think they know everything and can catch on really fast and they don't. You see how they react. It really is a good
yeah,
indication of how a
absolutely.
person's going to be. And it's also a really neat way to meet people. Like you were saying, 100 people are there on Tuesdays.
Yeah, 100 people, and right now we've been getting, in addition to that, maybe 20, 30 people in the classes.
That's amazing. And that's in Denver and in Loveland.
That's in Denver. We're just starting up in Loveland.
Okay.
My wife and I have been teaching here in Fort Collins for the past year. And in over the last couple decades, I've occasionally taught classes in Fort Collins. So there are tango dancers here in Fort Collins.
Very cool. And to take the classes, does it cost any money?
Typically, 15 to $20 for an evening of tango.
For the early,
Um,
yeah, to come early
Yeah,
and then you
you
just
come
stay.
early, and I think that at the turn variety in where we do it on Tuesdays, maybe you take the first class for $10, and then you get in free for a few times. So there
Mhm.
are always deals. And if somebody is truly hard up for money, like they're the
They're gonna
starving
turn
artist,
people away. Yeah.
they're not, yeah, and that's actually a tip for anybody who feels like they don't have the financial means. Just ask the teacher, hey, is there some volunteer work I can do? Or, do you have a student break for me? And most of the teachers are really outreaching and
Oh,
are happy to
absolutely.
have you come and attend.
So
Um,
is it just tango on Tuesdays or is it a like
just
mix of all the different dances?
so when we go out to dance tango, we typically dance three dances.
Okay.
The tango, the Argentine tango, which is slower and more dramatic. We might dance waltzes, which are faster and happier than the ballroom waltzes. And then we also dance something called the milonga, which is fast, sort of rhythmic dance.
Hmm.
Perhaps similar
Nice.
to the merengue, sort of like step, 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 with some more hip play. And that is what you would do traditionally at a dance in Argentina.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Uh,
excited. This sounds so cool. Every single time I
I
interview
had some
someone, I
friends go
just
try it
want to
out, like
go.
date night and stuff. I've had friends
date
do it,
night.
but hey, I'm thinking about that's how you get a date night. Okay.
Well, yeah, but then I would suggest you have to spend some time getting good enough that that she will say yes.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna be a black belt by the
yeah,
time this is over.
it's yeah, no, but this is true of all the dances. If you're
Mhm.
going to do salsa, and well, let me back up and say, each dance has its sort of its own character. So
Right.
salsa is sort of like party, happy, happy. Let's go to a
Hmm.
bar. Let's wear more skimpy clothes. Contra dance is like Virginia reels, and they have a lot of contra dancing in the Fort Collins, Boulder, Denver area.
I
Um,
don't know what that is.
you maybe in grade school you didn't do the reel, the Virginia reel, where you go up and down in lines. Like, okay, think square dancing.
Okay, square
Yeah.
Getting
dancing. We
closer, we're
had to
getting
do
closer.
square
Okay,
dancing.
think
Yeah.
square dancing, but to take a square dance and turn it into long lines. And you hook arms and turn about, and then
Oh,
you
okay.
spin about, and then you come back together in the lines and go up and down the lines.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
very casual, very easy. You can go one day and learn everything you need to know and have a good time doing contra dance.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Like, so for us, for me, for that sounds good. Maybe not for Black Belt Wilson, but for
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna be a
and
black belt. I'm gonna be women's kryptonite by the
Women's
time
Creek.
I'm done.
Yeah, right. Yes. So, and then salsa, maybe more party. Swing. If you love the old jazz swing music, then um,
Yeah.
go take a swing dance lesson. And that's particularly popular with the young people at
Well,
college.
like
And
Ant said earlier, there's not many healthy things to do. When socializing has been revolving around alcohol for so many years in this country,
alcohol or
it's good to see
sports
the
or
younger
yeah,
generations are getting away from that. It's good to see that this is another outlet for somebody that does not want to, participate in that. I know a lot of people are getting out of that and recovery, and that sounds like a really just healthy activity to socialize and be
it
out and
is.
about, man.
It gets you that social interaction even without, yeah, as you say, without alcohol. You don't need it. And most dancers are not big drinkers. They're more
Right, because
They
they're
want to
black
enjoy. Yeah,
dance.
they want to dance. Yeah.
Everyone on the
So
sideline is drinking and they're out
Yeah,
having a
you
good
don't take
time.
saucy Sally that's over there, not knowing the
yeah,
steps. I'm not nodding at her.
yeah, yeah. So, but what I like to say is tango is just a walk backwards in
Hmm.
high heels, but it's just a walk. And if you can just walk, you can actually have an okay, good time. As you get to know more steps, then you have a better time.
Well, that
Awesome,
really takes
awesome.
the intimidation of, because honestly, like I would be intimidated to go,
Yeah,
obviously taking the classes, but when you're like, hey, if you know how to walk, you can do it. It's going to take you a little bit
Yeah,
longer, but
yeah,
the more you learn, the more fun you have. But at least knowing that someone could come, take some classes, and then be able to dance that night without looking like a complete idiot, that's kind of where that's super exciting
yeah.
to hear.
So, and a lot of people just want to do private lessons. Like
Hmm.
sometimes couples would rather do that. I found that men in general are a little concerned about looking foolish.
we're
Hmm.
shy
And
out there.
and you know, they're shy. They don't want to be, so they want to arrive at a dance knowing that they know what to do.
Hmm.
And so they'll sneak in some private lessons and then they'll show up.
So do you help choreograph or do anything like that? Because I know someone very close to me who's getting married, and I was thinking, they do a lot of dances now at weddings, like surprise dances or something like
Yeah.
that. Do you see an influx of couples who are maybe doing something like that?
Constantly. You get the call, hey, we have a wedding in 3 weeks. Can you teach us to do the tango? And I say, well, let's teach you how to walk around the floor and do a dip.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes,
And
getting
and then
really into
and then there was the couple that wanted to do a tango to Roxanne, from Moulin Rouge.
yes.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
convince them that that was maybe not the most appropriate wedding.
I know I was thinking about going, that might not be.
The police sting.
Yeah, but so yeah, we do get that. We get couples. We get the couple where the marriage counselor has said, this time do something she wants to do. And I try my best to give him some confidence that, this, you could actually have fun at this. But typically what you would want to do is go to one of the Google Tango in Colorado, or Google salsa, salsa lessons, swing dance lessons. And you would find 5, 10 websites where somebody's offering you these lessons. And
Well,
then you would
I'm
say,
going to Tango.org. I'm going to
Tango.org.
Tango.org
That's mine.
for
And
my
on my
lessons.
website, yeah, I have a lot of resources there, music that you would listen to. It is a lot rich musical tradition, just like jazz is a rich musical tradition. If somebody asked you, well, tell me about jazz, you'd say, well, which era do you want to talk about? And
That's true.
tango has the same thing. You have the vintage 1920s, and you have the modern jazz from Astor Piazzolla. The dance music we typically use is from the 30s, 40s, 50s, like the big band era of swing.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that would be so cool to do that.
Fun.
Honestly,
fun.
Tom, you've like opened up my eyes to all the new dating things I can do. I'm married.
Yeah, you're married.
I
Yeah.
meant
Well, I
like
can I
to
can
go
help you
with
with
my
that too.
husband.
I can help you with your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
last time you danced was at your own wedding, right? No, I'm
And
not
then
going to put you on the spot.
I'm gonna be a tango assassin.
There is that movie. There is that movie,
Mm.
Assassination Tango. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie.
Assassination tango. That's my next
That's
tattoo.
okay. Robert
That's good.
Duvall. Robert Duvall is a good
Oh,
actor.
really?
Assassination Tango, and yeah, and there's the movie Tango, which is by the film director Saura, the Spanish film director.
all all of this is super interesting.
It
I
is.
think,
It's good. I like it. It's a great activity, great, good and social. Yeah, hey, it does exactly what we're trying to accomplish on this podcast is highlight some things to do around here and all the interesting things there are to do, right?
yeah. Well,
Um,
and you're moving, you're still going to have it, but then you're also going to start doing Thursdays in Loveland, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah, Maya's ballroom studio. She's been doing ballroom both socially and professionally. Performance. And not
Yeah,
everybody wants to be the performer on stage, but you can still enjoy your dancing, even if you're just social dancing.
that
yeah,
In
is
fact, most
super.
people are social dancers.
I'm a social
yeah.
dancer, not
Yeah,
really.
I'm an
Well,
assassin.
you're assassin.
Hmm.
How many hearts are you going to
Yeah.
assassinate?
So many, so many.
poor
Payback.
Wilson.
It's
No
gonna be
one's
called
gonna nod
payback.
back. No one's
Hmm.
nodding back, Wilson. No one's
Hmm.
nodding back.
All right. So hey, their necks will hurt. They'll be nodding so much.
Oh,
Here's a challenge for you. The next time you're at a fine restaurant, just try using the gaze across the crowded room to get the waiter's attention.
Yeah, it's same thing.
I'll bet, and I just notice that it is that if the waiter is paying attention at all, they'll be there.
So one more time for the
Yeah,
listeners when they edit this, when we start posting this on social media so we can highlight
yeah.
you. Thursday nights, where and what was your website again?
My website is tango.org, and there are all kinds of updates and resources and musical references there. And in the Northern Colorado area, I will be teaching starting in September at Maya's Ballroom in North Loveland.
Awesome.
but there's the Denver one too. The Tuesday
In
Uh-huh.
Denver
Den
one.
in
Uh-huh.
Denver, if you
So we
want to
want to.
tango, I have been teaching on Wednesdays, but the club where you get 100 people every night, that's on Tuesday nights. And that's at the Denver
Okay.
Turnverein, which is east of the Capitol by about 6 blocks.
And that's all on your website.
Yes.
Sweet.
Awesome.
It has been so fun, Tom, and I don't know about Wilson, but you'll probably see me there in my tennis shoes. But hopefully you'll save a dance for me because I don't think I can get my husband to come.
I could, there is one other special event coming up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is September 27th at the Senior Center in Fort Collins. There's going to be a big dance outreach event. For $50, you can dance all day and take 5-6 different dance classes from different teachers. So
Oh,
you
that's
could
pretty
sample
cool.
tango, you could sample salsa, you can sample swing, and in the evening there's going to be a dance.
Very
Awesome.
cool. And what day is that?
It's
September?
Saturday, September 27th, and it's called Autumn Whirl. Autumn Whirl.
Whirl, WHIRL.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you again, Tom, so much for joining us at tango.org, and we can find all of this information on there. We'll also publish it on our Facebook page, and I have learned so much, and it does kind of make me want to go dancing.
That was fun, Tom. Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll see you. I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm gonna
Good.
come into that. Don't you forget it.
All right. Well,
Good.
thank you very much. It was
Yes.
super
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Later,
Bye-bye.
Tom.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. This is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty. And if you missed important information from this episode, check us out on Facebook at Northern Vibes Colorado.
And this is Will Miller with Source Mortgage Group. Also follow us on YouTube at Northern Vibes CO.